Hi everybody! Hi Tamar! A lot of people are talking all the time, one state, two state, whatever, blah blah blah. So let's break it down and explain what everything means, the pros, the cons, what's realistic, what's unrealistic, and why, and who is pushing what solution, and why, and all kind of shit like that.
Yeah, I think the raison d'etre for this video is the Trump-Bibi press conference, in which Trump says like, I want a deal, one state, two states, whatever, I want a deal, and and it's just, and Bibi standing like, Obama, where are you?
So let's start with the two-state solution.
Actually, that was the first solution. In 1947, the UN resolution,
Partition.
700 something, I think, 742, whatever. They said this preferred solution, the UN-sanctioned solution for this, the future of the land of Israel, for Palestine, is two states. One state for the Jews, a Jewish state, and one state for the Arabs, an Arab state. They didn't say Palestinian state
They didn't say that back then?
No.
Okay. And it was the kind of like 50-50 of the entire Palestine and British mandate of the region.
The Arabs got 45%. but the better part of the land of Palestine, the British mandate Palestine.
But we got Tel Aviv.
The Jews got 55% with a lot of desert inside. Yeah, and the Jews.
So we got a bad deal. The Jews made a bad deal. No, because we kind of knew. Our leadership knew that the Arabs, Palestinians will not accept it.
Yeah, that's not the end of the story. Yeah. Turned the UN resolution of 55-45, we established a territorial continuity, and we
got
77% between Israel and the Arab state. They drew, using a green marker, the line that until today are the official recognized sovereign part of Israel, which is 77% from the British mandate.
So fast forward 20 years later, 67 war, we conquer Gaza, we conquer the West Bank, we go beyond the Green Line.
Golan Heights.
Golan Heights.
Basically tripled our territory.
Right. So after that, the Israeli governments, from then on until today, even the most right-wing governments, they never annexed officially the territories, the West Bank and Gaza, so it's not really Israel.
No,
legally, here it's not considered Israel. There's like a military rule in the West Bank.
Yeah. So basically now, we have residues from the end of colonialism, from the end of the Second World War, from the Holocaust, and from even the Cold War. We have residues.
Right.
And the
the Arab nations were supported by the USSR.
One solution that in the international community and the diplomacy and everything they talk about, which is going back to the UN resolution from 47 and creating two states. One is already existing.
Right, but not 55%, 45%.
No, the solution
not
is...
Not the 48 lines.
No, the 49 lines, yeah.
The 49, okay, but the 67 lines.
And the Palestinians will get a state, recognized, official, part of the UN, part of the international community state, a new Arab state.
Right, part in Gaza and part in the West Bank, so not connected.
Not connected.
Like a few years after the 67 war, after we conquered the West Bank and also Gaza, we started to build cities and villages and settlements.
Yeah, illegal settlements.
Illegal settlements.
According to international law, yeah.
Right. We have different legality. Even we have legal settlements and illegal settlements. Yeah. We differentiate between them. So basically what that means is that you will have to retreat all your military forces from the West Bank. There's a little bit of a caveat there, like along the Jordan River. Retreat everything, and you have to change the land. You can go back to the 67 lines, 49 lines, as they are, even though they were very good lines for defense because they were military lines. Right, we stop there, boom, so they're easily defensible. You have Ariel, that's like 15 kilometers inside the West Bank, so you have to have
that's a major city now. We don't.
Okay, because during the 48 war, a lot of Palestinian refugees fled to...
Around 500,000, 700,000 fled to the neighboring state and stayed in a status of refugees until today. The Arab countries never accepted them.
And the UN recognizes their children and their grandchildren as also
so now they're like
refugees.
5 million
Right.
People.
Okay, so one is the border, right? Two state, that means like along the 67 borders with land swaps, and then there's the Palestine, the refugees, and Jerusalem. That's another big issue. So talk a little bit about that.
According to the UN resolution for 47, Jerusalem was supposed to be an international city, not under any sovereignty of any nation, like a UN sovereignty, something like the Vatican or whatever.
Okay.
And
Now that's not relevant anymore.
No. In 67, Israel conquered East Jerusalem.
Right.
With many Arab neighborhoods and big Arab population. We conquered the holy sites, the Western Wall, the Temple Mount, the Al-Aqsa Mosque.
Right.
And officially, even though it's not recognized, Israel annexed the eastern part of Jerusalem, including the holy sites.
Right.
And officially passed a law. The capital of Israel is Jerusalem, all of Jerusalem. We still celebrate this occupation. We still celebrate it as like uniting Jerusalem.
Right, but only crazy people now go. They march through Jerusalem and through the Muslim neighborhoods.
Yeah,
and they
but
say
I remember growing up in
Muhammad is dead. And now Eastern Jerusalem is mostly actually now like Arab villages that were annexed to the Jerusalem municipality.
Yeah.
After the war and afterwards, even though it was never part of the holy city of Jerusalem, like Shuafat, right? And people have to understand that it's really, they're now connected. Like when you get to Jerusalem, you go left and you're straight into Shuafat, into Eastern Jerusalem. You go straight or you go right, and then you're
in Gilo or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's even more complicated than the 67 lines with land swaps, because it's so. We also built neighborhoods inside Eastern Jerusalem, and now that are very large that you cannot disband. And also crazy Jews, they go and live like one family inside Sheikh Jarrah, for example, and they get like a private militia subsidized by the state, and all this because a lot of people, of course, don't want the two-state solution, so they're working on the ground in order to prevent it. So this means settlements in the West Bank more east than Ramallah, for example, along the Jordan bank. So it will be impossible.
You have to understand about the holy sites in Jerusalem. That's like in the same square mile. Like the
Muslim and the Jewish.
The Western Wall is connected to the Temple Mount, which one of the most holiest sites in Islam, the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock.
Okay.
So it's like if you
can't divide it.
You can't really divide it. Yeah, if you partition the Vatican, you say, okay, the St. Patrick Church is for the Italians, and this square with the monument there, with the obelisk there, is for the Eastern Italians or whatever, for the Tuscans or something.
Right. So you can't. So it has to be. So the proposed solutions are kind of a joint rule, administration, joint custody of the holy sites with supervision of international powers. And so another problem in the two-state solution is that after 2005, Hamas, a right-wing radical Palestinian group, took over the Gaza Strip. So now that's a different government. So the Palestinian president, Mahmoud Abbas, he doesn't speak for the people of Gaza.
Yeah, it doesn't represent them de facto. It's an amazing solution for Israel. Basically, it says it's recognized the victory in 48 and 49. It recognized this victory and the armistice agreements in 49, the Paris Agreement or whatever, that this is your territory. And there's no more argument. There's no more argument.
Right.
And not only that, also our neighbors are officially obligated to accept these borders, which is 77%, 78% of the entire British mandate. It's bigger than David's empire mentioned in the Bible. Wow. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than the Asmonean kingdom. It's the most territory the Jews ever had.
תוכנית הרגעה, like the calming down,
the chill out plan.
יש דברים שרובנו מבינים שכבר לא יקרו. הסופרנוז לא יחזרו לעונה נוספת. רמי קליינשטיין כבר לא יגדל אפרו, וגם הסכם שלום עם הפלסטינים לא יקרה. זה פשוט לא ריאלי. למה? הסיפור הוא די פשוט. הקמת מדינה פלסטינית על בסיס קווי 67 היא בלתי אפשרית, משום שהיא תסכן את מדינת ישראל. מבחינה ביטחונית, זה ישכפל את עזה לתוך יהודה ושומרון, מה שיגביר את ייצוא המתכת לתוך שטח ישראל.
Okay. And he had a very, very cool video about how you annex part of it, straight line, and then they get like the other part, and like they will still have like the road administration and roads, but we will control everything outside the roads.
I wouldn't put this plan in the same categories like well thought of and realistic.
Okay,
because it's nonsense.
Why is it nonsense? Because the lines are not
exactly straight. Annexing all the territory we have now.
Territory C. He wants to annex territory C.
Yeah, annexing that means like you have Arab city here and few settlements here.
Right, you have
that's
islands.
Israel, and that's not Israel.
Right. And in between, even it's not.
It basically means the occupation, but in the cities you can do whatever you want. But it's still occupation. You can go to inside your cities all the time. It's still this. It's now. It's the same. It's making official the status quo.
וכאן נכנסת תוכנית הסיפוח החלקי. היא לא תייצר גן עדן, אבל תשפר מאוד את המצב שלנו. המצב היום הוא כזה. יהודה ושומרון מחולקים לשטחי A, B ו-C. שטחי A ו-B נמצאים בשליטה פלסטינית. כאן גרים 97% מהפלסטינים. ושטחי C נמצאים בשליטה ישראלית. בשטח הזה גרים כל 350,000 המתיישבים היהודים ורק 48,000 פלסטינים. שטח C כולל גם את הנקודות החיוניות לביטחון ישראל. התוכנית היא לספח את שטח C לשטח מדינת ישראל. לפלסטינים יתאפשר שלטון עצמי בשטחים A ו-B, ורציפות תחבורתית תבטיח שכל תושב יוכל להגיע מכל מקום ביהודה ושומרון לכל מקום אחר, בלי לראות מחסום צה"לי אחד.
With ignoring, totally ignoring the international community, the unanimous international community opinion, unanimous, even the right-wingers that now working for Trump, this is their opinion as well. Two-state solution.
ל-48,000 הפלסטינים שחיים בשטח C תוצא אזרחות ישראלית, או אם יעדיפו, תושבות, כמו תושבי מזרח ירושלים. זה בקושי ידגדג את המאזן הדמוגרפי של מדינת ישראל, אבל יוציא את האוויר מהמפרשים של מי שמאשים אותנו באפרטהייד. הגבולות הנוכחיים עם ירדן ועזה יישארו, והשמירה אף תהודק, כדי למנוע חדירה של צאצאי פליטים פלסטינים וטרור. ישראל תזכה ליציבות מבחינה ביטחונית ודמוגרפית, ואף אחד לא יגורש מביתו. ומה יגיד העולם? העולם לא מכיר בריבונות הישראלית בירושלים, או ברמת הגולן. אז אפשר להוסיף לרשימה גם את שטחי C.
Only 16% of Israelis support that kind of solution annexing large portions of the West Bank. It's a very, very unpopular position.
Yeah, very unpopular.
And this is why the Prime Minister never says it not only because of the international community, because most Israelis, when you ask them, which is your preferred solution, one state, and that everything is ours, one state combining, we'll talk about that, the Palestinian-Israeli state, or two-state solution, they will say the two-state solution. But now when you go into the details, those extreme right-wingers have been able to incorporate into their own camp the people who believe in the two-state solution by telling them that you can't trust, harping on the fact that you can't trust Palestinians and they will want everything, and the 67 lines. And all, propaganda. Like he says that the 67 lines are not defensible. But military experts say that it's more defensible than the other proposed lines that are jigsawing through the territory.
It's so not known outside of Israel, like how this kind of thinking is, the propaganda of it, how strong it is in Israel, because even in the classrooms, when you have a map of Israel, they don't draw the green line, they don't draw the West Bank, they don't draw Gaza, they just maybe a different, really different color with no lines, and the map says the land of Israel, not Palestinian territories and stuff like that.
And in the weather, if we check the weather, then there's like a straight line along the West Bank, so everything is ours.
Even the map, in Israelis' minds, if they don't think about it, they're automatically saying, yeah, this is ours. And many of them don't even really know the difference between the West Bank and Gaza and
what's going on in Jerusalem. There's of course an idea of annexing everything, annexing everything, and not and with no ethnic cleansing.
No.
You stay where you are, Palestinian, Jewish, you stay where you are. The Israeli president, that's a ceremonial position, he supports this solution. But then there are two sides to this solution. Will the Palestinians get the right to vote, representation, political representation, or will they not?
Yeah.
And even in the camp that said that they will get representation, you have people who say, should they be able to change, should it be a Jewish state officially, that will be written in the constitution, and then you shake on it, and then you can never change it, even if you have 90% Palestinians living here in 100 years, it will still be a Jewish state. Yeah. This is like it's not well thought out. It's crazy.
They never talk about the elephant in the room, like the economy. How can you imagine East Berlin? Now there's no East Berlin, there's no Eastern Germany, just one Germany. Germany, and they're Germans, and they don't have security problems per se and stuff like that. It was the end of the Cold War. You had a lot of till today, 30 years later, you still have a difference between the economic disposition of the Eastern Germany.
And Gaza is like dirt poor, like 25% poor.
It means a few things.
Like the main concern of people here is that they fear for the security. This is why they vote out of fear, and the left wing and the center say this is the solution. And the right wing says this is a bad solution. They don't propose their own solution. So if you are scared of the two-state solution, it's kind of easy to vote right wing because you say, okay, I don't know, I don't trust them. You left wingers, you dream of peace, whatever. This is not Scandinavia, blah blah blah. And the two-state solution is by far the most well thought out idea. You had endless number of experts of the land and security and water and everything, and the religious sites, everything drawn up to the fucking millimeter. They will be happy. A lot of them will be happy. They will get their own country. Yeah. So they will have this euphoria and stuff. And I don't think that the people who will want to continue the fight against Israel will be a majority, because most of the people say, oh, let's just forget about it. Okay, we got a raw deal, but let's now do something else. Yeah. So we hope that maybe, I don't know, you learned something that you didn't know before. And if you have more questions, of course, you can leave them. It's better on the Patreon, on the Patreon page than on the comments on YouTube. So there we can continue the discussion. And thank you for supporting our channel.
Thank you.
And we'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.